Hello, NeXT community. I wanted to make another video just kind of showing what I do here. So for the mounting bracket, I've got a little 3D printing mounting bracket. It'd be nice to be able to do those in-house. I make it so it'll slide in and out of here easy, right? So you don't have to take it all the way out. Then it's easy to access that card. So you just kind of press in on it and then it'll pop out and you can swap it in case there is something that goes wrong with the card. It is easy to make a backup of these, and I've got another video kind of explaining that. And so we'll watch the boot process here. So it's good when it says extended self-test passed, right? And it'll go through, load all your drivers. I go through in perimeters. I like to set it for verbose mode so we can see what's going on in the background. You see that it adds all of my partitions in my custom INI file. And we've tweaked it to kind of optimize the performance. And so you have to be a little bit patient because we are in effect loading 6 hard drives, 2 gig partitions. The reason 2 gig is back in the day, they never thought there was going to be anything above a 2 gig hard drive, right? And so they put that limitation on the kernel. And NeXT and Openstep, well, they just continued it, when Apple took over in 96, late 96, on December 20th. And so as a result, you can load a larger partition and it will work fine until your first hard shutdown. Then when you go to reboot, it's going to want to run check disk. And check disk, that software, still has 2 gig partition limits written into it, okay? So unless you have a specific disk tab entry where you can go up to 4 gig, everything is going to go haywire. Now, the advantage of these little SD cards, all of the software that I have loaded on them, if you had the drives crash, okay, would take literally a month of reinstalling. Now, granted, they would be on 6 different drives. So what I've done here is for my main boot drive, I install the operating system. And I thought I'd give Jim a little bonus since he's been patient with me here. So I'm going to give him one Openstep 4.2 SD and one NeXT 3.3 SD Extreme Pro. That'll both work on the RP 2040 card here, and they are interchangeable. So when you see the spinning beach ball there, that's a good sign. Then we're going to see a login screen here soon, right? So you just have to remember this is 1990 tech. I'm going to go ahead and type in root. That's our login. I don't set the password, but be sure and set a root password before you do any networking. The reason is net info depends on finding that root password. So everything will go haywire there, and you will have to write over your net info directory using a command line, remove directory and so forth. I'm not going to go into detail on that. So now the advantage of an SD also, what used to take a month of installing from floppies and CD-ROMs and individual packages and entering license keys, is I've created master ISOs for both NeXT 3.3 and Openstep 4.2. That is a fluid project. I still am finding apps to this day, 31 years later. I've been doing this 31 years. Still love my job. Now you can see it takes about 4 minutes, okay, from the power up to log in. And so now we see all of our applications here. And so on the 4.2, I've loaded up a bunch of stuff, created more directories. In fact, I've added the Big Green CD, the Solution Suite CD. So lots of fun stuff here. Because I am pressed for time, I am going to go ahead and call this one good, okay? And button it up and ship. Jim, I'm going to take this spare drive. I'm going to leave 4.2 in, and I'm just going to tape it right to the side here. I encourage you to make a backup copy and on a modern Mac with a card reader, and you'll just create a folder, okay? And then you're going to drag, you take my SD card, put it in the SD card on a Mac or a PC, and your backup folder, when the SD card comes up with my images, you simply drag and drop the HD images into your folder, and you can highlight them all, okay, and along with my custom initialization file, that's kind of the bread and butter that makes everything work, over to your backup folder, and you have everything backed up. So it also gives you the option of when you reformat the disk in case of a hard drive crash, you can just drag the main, HDA 0 drive over, or 1 drive over, I believe. It's going to either be 0 or 1 for the main boot drive, to the SD card, and you don't have the overhead of loading the other 5 partitions. I don't have some sinister plan to slow things down here. I'm just trying to give all my customers the option of having 5 2-gig hard drives with thousands of NeXT applications. So you can have lots of fun with it. And then once you own it, you can do whatever you'd like, okay? But I just try and create a really fun master, boot ISO. I have permission from a ton of the original authors. They love what I'm doing, and that includes Apple, okay? Has given me permission to support NeXT and Openstep for the hobbyist community. And I think I'm probably the only one in the world that still has that right to do it, and I don't mind sharing that. And with, NeXT hardware owners, we get the Y2K patch. I help maintain it, and, we're still coming up with apps to this day. I can post that out there, and I do not want people to pass this image around. It took me a long time to assemble all these apps and everything. But if you buy the SD card and Zulu card from me, you're go ahead and make backups. But I'm just, trying to prevent where someone, posts all this stuff out there and gives it away, because this is what keeps, the lights on here at Black Hole and me fed. And I'm an old guy, 61, and, I got nowhere else to go. So, hey, appreciate everybody's time today. Now to log out, what I do is I just press the power key here, right? And then you're going to see a power button come off. And we're just going to click turn it off, right? So, let's see if I can find my mouse here. Obviously, I can't with the glare. There we go. Where is it? I think there's a screw underneath. I've got a screw loose today. There we go. There's a screw under the mouse. So we click turn it off, and it'll take a minute here, okay? And so you just let it think. Now, if it does say check disk on boot up, walk away from the system and let it check disk. Because sometimes you got to think about it in terms of 1990 technology. It's kind of a self-healing process for the NeXT, and it's got to go through 6 hard drives. And it makes sure that the formatting is all good. And it may have been because of a hard shutdown, or it may just be the computer figuring out how to blow stuff out of the swap file and reboot, okay? But that can sometimes take 20 to 30 minutes. And so whatever you do, don't power it off and start it up again, and then, because that makes it even worse. So that being said, I've got a rock solid config here with tons of fun stuff. Jim, hey, I really appreciate your business and patience. With my dad's passing, this has really helped me keep my mind, right. And I enjoy working and everything else. So have a wonderful weekend. And we've got the Rocky Mountain Showdown this weekend up here in Fort Collins at CSU, where we're playing Boulder. And so that's going to be interesting. I wish I could go to the game, but I can't get around very well with this fractured hip. So I will be watching it in my man cave here while working on NeXT hardware. Got plenty of projects on deck, more to come, and appreciate everybody's business. It's wonderful. It's really keeping me busy, and it's helping me put aside the money I need for this upcoming hip replacement surgery operation. So that's, it's so much appreciated. There's not much I can do at age 61. I've been doing this 31 years now. I'll give you guys a quick glimpse at my ugly mug. Hey. And so here's the configuration. I like it, right? So I've got a bunch of stuff going on here that's going to be fun, for me at least. And stay tuned. I'll have some more systems set up and more videos to come, probably even today. Have a good day.